Hey, how's it going, you guys? This is petplatypus here. Now it's time to talk about some Legend of Korra Season 2, Episode 5 and 6, but this is Episode 5. This was a pretty okay episode of Korra. We basically we kind of see the, what's his name? Oh my god. The leader of the North who just invaded, her uncle, whatever, I'm gonna call him the uncle for now until I get his name, but he's doing his strategies and everything. He wants the portals guarded because apparently only Korra can open the other portal, and he sends his two daughters out to capture her, which the one daughter, not two daughters, his son and daughter, the one that looks like a girl, but anyways, the trap card or whatever. Anyway, he sends them out to capture Korra, and obviously daughter, Eska, she's fine with it because, you know, fuck Korra, took my husband according to her, took my fiance according to her, and, so yeah, that's happening. They're going back to Republic City, which is okay. I like that we went to, you know, more than one location in this season so far. You know, it's not just Republic City like it was before. But, yeah. They go there, and she's kind of having arguments with Mako, because Mako doesn't really agree with what she's doing, and she is being very rash and stubborn, and I would say that's kind of character regression, and you could say it is, but at the same time, it is a core part of who she used to be, and on top of that, her family is at stake. So I can kind of understand where she's coming from. When shit's going down and your family's at stake and everything, you know, you can lose your patience even if you've gained it, and not every lesson you learn is going to stick the first time you learn it. So I do think her character does need improvement, though. I won't say she totally regressed completely, but I will say that she's kind of at a standstill and she needs to move past it, but yeah, so her and Mako are kind of arguing, and Bolin's doing this movie stuff, not really that big of a deal. I guess I'll talk about the stuff with Tenzin, because again, not that big of a deal. He's teaching his kid how to give commands or whatever, and unlike the Civil War episodes, where you really got development in terms of Tenzin's family and his family history, this was really just kind of fillerish, you know, just like, okay, Milo, do this, or whatever. We kind of get a little insight into his, you know, personality, like, you know, I think, I don't remember which thing Milo says, but I think he said being the alpha or being the dominant or whatever is lonely, and Tenzin's like, yeah, I know, and, yeah, I don't know, Tenzin's character definitely has some depth there, but, not much in this episode, really, just some funny lemur stuff. It was fun to watch, but it just doesn't affect the overall plot. I hope this stuff at this air temple is leading up to something with that, like, that statue and everything, but we'll just have to wait and see. The Bolin stuff with, Varric's still funny, but it wasn't, like, the best thing ever, you know, doing the movies and everything. He gives, but, what Korra does go to Republic City for, which I probably should have mentioned before, is, to get the army to help, which we already knew about. Goes to the president, he's like, no, we don't really want to, she's pissed off about that. Mako is still having arguments with her, don't really care about the arguments, but, you know, it leads to something later in the episode. So what she's basically going to try to do is go behind his back, which Varric suggests. And Varric also suggests something I thought was pretty cool, was, the South might want to buy mecha tanks, and if you sell the mecha tanks to the South, they can help the war effort and make future industries money. That was pretty good. I mean, is making this war escalate a bad idea? Probably, but I mean, it's a good idea, kind of. Like, I understand where he's coming from, but we'll have to just wait and see. But I still like his character. He's funny, even if he is getting bad advice. Let's see, what else happened? Yeah, so the president won't do shit, so she tries to go behind his back to General Iroh. We see Iroh for a little bit. He's ready to go in and do it, but then the president's like, hey, what do you know? And then she's like, someone must have tipped him off, and she found out it was Mako, and Mako did tip him off because it's his job, and they have an argument in the police station, and they break up. Well, he broke up with her. And as he put it, I broke up with the Avatar, which is probably not the best idea. But, yeah, I mean, Korra is being very, very bitchy, and like I said, to a certain extent you can understand it, but I do feel like, I mean, I don't know, it's just, even though I understand where the character's coming from, there is still something that feels off about it. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a little too stubborn, maybe a little too impatient, I don't know, but I still like the character. She's just being way more bitchy than I think she needs to be, but we'll see. She'll probably get more development. They probably, like, clean slated her character so they could give her new development. Because, you know, Nickelodeon was like, well, you get one season. I've already talked about this before, but, you know, they were like, okay, well, let's develop her in one season. And then it's like, oh shit, she's already fully developed and we have another season. They could have gone somewhere with that, but they decided to just clean slate her and start over, and that's problematic for the overall story, but I said before, I can kind of forgive some of this stuff, even though I still have to point it out because it's a problem, but I can forgive some of the character regression simply because it's, you know, not really, you know, Nickelodeon kind of screwed them on this, and kind of, you know, they didn't know if they were going to go season, all that stuff, but anyways. The only other things that happen are they break up, she leaves. Beifong has a funny line where she says, you should have seen at fucking Air Temple Island after Tenzin broke up with me. That was a funny line. Yeah, and also there's like this bombing going on, and there was also this this protest with the South that Korra's on their side, and yeah, I don't know. It's going okay, the season so far. This was an okay episode, like a 7.5. Not a ton of character development. Animation was fine overall. We get a fight at the end with the twins and Korra. That was pretty cool. And she got eaten by a giant spirit, and then it cuts. So, big cliffhanger. Let's see what happens in episode 6, but the ending was definitely, like, probably the best part of the episode, honestly. I'm trying to think. Yeah, it's like the best part. Everything else is just kind of okay. Like I said, the stuff with the lemurs and Milo and Tenzin, it's funny, but it's nothing special. I don't care about the relationship stuff, and it's not like the relationship stuff affects the plot too much. So yeah, overall, it's like a 7.5. It's a good episode, but maybe like a 7. 7 is still a good, but it's less good, but it's above decent. It's like a decent plus or something. I don't know. I need to figure out what my ratings mean, but whatever. But yeah, it's like I said, it is a decent plus episode. It's, you know, it's not bad, it's not great, it's not really even that good, it's just kind of okay. But yeah, it had its standout moments. Bolin was funny, even though his plot point feels a little filler-ish. He was funny in the stadium, I love that. Manipulating the crowd was awesome. But yeah, overall, 7 out of 10. Not the best episode of Korra, but it wasn't, you know, bad. What is up with the 5th episode? Like, the 5th episode had, like, the lowest rating in the first season, and now the 5th episode of this season has, like, my lowest rating so far. Whatever. I guess they put, like, their weak shit in the 5th. I don't even know, but, anyway. Now I'll talk about episode 6. Okay, you guys, so, episode 6 of Korra. Kind of a mixed episode, to be totally honest. Not that it was bad, but I don't know. Like, okay, so we get the movie stuff, the mover stuff. That's still funny, and you see Bolin, and he's being, you know, Bolin. He's funny. But while it makes sense, the direction his character's going in, he's doing the whole power, and well, not power, but fame going to his head type thing. It's kind of making his character less likable, and I don't like that, because he was such a fun character, and he's still a fun character, but just the way he's cold shouldering Mako, it almost, I would say it feels out of character, but you know, he is letting the fame go to his head kind of thing. It just makes characters less likable, and eventually they'll turn around and be nice again, and you know, that's what it's basically going to happen. I already know what's going to happen, so it's not going to be that enjoyable to watch, but still, it is character development. It's just, you know, it's not great character development in my opinion. We get Mako still doing the investigation. He's with Asami. Asami kissed him and just, oh my god, it's going to turn into bullshit again. I already know. But we'll see where it goes. At least it's not a love triangle right now, because he broke up with Korra, but, you know, whatever. They had more chemistry together anyway, him and Asami, but whatever. We get Varric. Oh, Varric, you were so awesome. Why? Because we see the pyrotechnics stuff going on, and Mako's like, wait, how did you do the pyrotechnics? And he's like, oh yeah, it's this thing that only Varric Industries has, and he sees the remote detonator, and he's like, fuck. So he goes to see Asami, and it turns out that he signed a deal, and it feels like Varric is actually trying to win over everyone. He's got Bolin in the movies. He's got Asami signing the paperwork. He just saved her company. It seems like he's trying to wrap everyone around his finger so that no one will believe Mako or no one will side with Mako. And Varric turning out to be an antagonist is way more shocking and surprising than when the uncle turned out to be an antagonist. The uncle, you could see it coming. This was pretty damn good. This was a good twist. And, you know, we had stuff with the boat and, you know, being with the triple threats or whatever they were called, and they were hired by Varric. And Korra washes up on Fire Nation territory because you can tell by the clothing that the dudes are wearing, but she has no memory. I didn't see that coming, but if you were going to regress Korra's character or change her personality, you should have done the mind wiping sooner, but whatever. Yeah, she lost her memory, so we'll have to see where that goes. Interesting. I'd like to see where it goes. I don't think we got Tenzin's family in this episode. No, I don't. No, we didn't. We mostly just got the movie stuff. And the movie stuff is funny. Don't get me wrong. The movie stuff's hilarious. I love the special effects. Making Naga and fucking Pabu talk. Those were funny. That was hilarious. But like I said, I don't really like the direction they're taking Bolin's character. I get that it's development. I get why he's acting the way he is. I just don't like it. The kiss with Asami, don't fucking, it's gonna happen, but I'm dreading it. There's gonna be more love triangle stuff, I'm sure. Well, maybe not, since Korra lost her memory, but I don't know. The best part of this episode is the Varric reveal. That was really good. Everything else was just kind of decent to okay. Mako's character is definitely a lot better than he was in Season 1, I will say that. I'm definitely liking his character. He's the only character I'm really liking. I don't hate Asami, but she's not that great of a character. She was kind of cool in Season 1, kind of just there for the love triangle stuff, but her dynamic with her father was good. But in this season, she's not that relevant. I mean, she's tied to Varric, and Varric I didn't expect to be such a major character, and now he's turning out to be somewhat of a villain. That's pretty awesome. So, and he's still a funny character, but he's probably not going to be as funny anymore. And I kind of didn't like how as soon as Mako suspected Varric, you see him in the chair and he turns around and he looks all sinister. And I'm like, Varric never looked like that before. Why does he suddenly look sinister now that he's being revealed to be an antagonist? That's kind of weird, but overall, it was a fine episode. I'd go around 6.5. Decent episode of Korra. Like, the stuff on the boat was okay, comedy was still okay, like I said, the movies were really, really funny, but the characters are not, I mean, Asami, like I said, Asami's still whatever, the kiss was kind of annoying, but not a huge deal. I feel like it's gonna lead to something stupid, but we'll just have to wait and see. Bolin, I'm not liking where they're taking his character, but I understand where they're taking his character, I understand the development, I understand why, like I said, but I just not a fan of it. But yeah, overall, it was a decent episode of Korra. Not a ton of story. Well, I mean, there was story progression because Varric turned out to be evil or whatever, but we'll have to see. We don't know if Varric's working for the North either, but that would be interesting if he was. He'd be like a super double agent. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. But overall, yeah, 6.5 episode. It was a decent episode of Korra. I can kind of see what people were talking about with Season 2, you know. I don't think it's terrible, but I can definitely see what people are talking about when they say it's nowhere near as good as Season 1. I definitely don't think it's shitty, though. But yeah. Also, they think Korra's dead. Well, the twins do. I don't know if the uncle thinks he's dead. Excuse me. But, yeah. Decent episode. Wish it could have been better, but, you know, it is what it is, even though I don't like saying that. Weird how I say things I don't like to say, right? But yeah. Thanks for watching this video. Tell me what you guys thought of these episodes in the comments below. And yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.